Kings and Queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. So today I want to take your mind to what is happening in Europe right now and the condition that Africa is going through at the moment. It was here I brought that video, that funny and annoying one. Okay, of the fire extinguisher or fire extinguishing that we saw in Europe. There, I don't know which part was that. They called the fire service to put out the fire. Just a normal thing that will happen when the fire starts. You look for a way to put out this fire. Just a normal thing. A normal thing that immediately you see a fire, the next thing your subconscious is going to tell you is the next thing is to just get something to put out this fire. But my people in Africa saw fire taking down a building, and they gathered. They were speaking in tongue, casting and binding, and doing a whole lot of things, your majesties. It was so funny. It was laughable and annoying, like I said. Now, this time around, I want to push your mind to the realities that we are being faced with in this age and time. Okay? Now, those who are custodians of these things will tell you that they are sending out missionaries to Europe. I believe it's something that is out there right now. They send missionaries now from Africa to Europe. Gone are those days that they came here and said they brought the good news. This is what they brought: good news of salvation. Missionaries came in here, and mind you, these missionaries are like emissaries for these colonial masters. They were the ones that came and softened the heart of people through religion, through so-called spirituality, so that the colonial masters can have an easy passage, an easy dominance. Without the help of the missionaries, the colonial masters wouldn't have been so successful. So they used this means and came in to the motherland to capture people and do a whole lot of things. And that's why when you go to most of these slave dungeons across the globe, across the motherland, you see that the prisons where our brothers and sisters, our ancestors, our mothers, our fathers were kept, they have churches on top of these prisons. So they'll be there worshiping, praying to their God, and they have beings underneath. Beings that they have treated lower than animals underneath. It's quite unfortunate, your majesties, but we have to talk about these things. There's no way out. We have to talk about it. So now, it's been circulating that churches in Europe right now are turned into restaurants and what do you call them? They are turned into restaurants and garage because people don't go to church anymore. Okay, people hardly go to church, and even when they go to church, it's just the older ones that are there. The youths are nowhere to be found in churches. They are out there living their lives. So the churches are empty. You see big building, gigantic, big, beautiful structures as churches. No one is in there to worship. Okay? And in Africa, reverse is the case. It is this time that the church ministry is moving so well that someone can turn their parlor into a church and you see people coming. Okay, you see my youths that are supposed to think of a way to turn around the situation of the motherland, of their various countries. They are the ones in churches. While the old men that are supposed to be praying for the youth to have the strength to govern are the ones in politics. So they tie the youth with go to church and religion. And that's why most of the times, not all the time, when election comes, they use religion as a tool. They use religion as a tool. I'm not wasting your time. I want us to go into this clip and we'll take it up from there, your majesties.
Now, in an evolving landscape of Christianity, the African Church has long sought guidance and support from the West, especially European countries.
Yet, while African nations have witnessed a proliferation of churches over the past century, suggesting a growing gospel outreach, the situation is different at Christianity's source. Sam Gituku delves into the recent trends in Europe, where a growing number are turning away from the church, prompting clergy to innovate their efforts to reclaim the flock's devotion.
Europe's rich religious heritage is epitomized by the majestic architectural marvels that grace its major cities. Take, for instance, Barcelona, Spain, a nation steeped in religious tradition, tracing back through centuries. As one of Europe's best preserved medieval cities, Barcelona's skyline is adorned with the timeless beauty of ancient churches, each a testament to the creativity and devotion of generations past. These churches stand as living monuments to history, reflecting a time when Catholicism reigned as the state religion. Even today, amidst the passage of time, over 2/3 of the population still identify as Catholics. However, the practice of the faith tells a different tale altogether.
The faith of the people in this country has really gone down, and we have very few people coming into churches. Most of the churches are closing. They are being turned into garages and restaurants.
Father Onesmus Muthoka is a Kenyan priest who lived in Catalonia, Spain for 11 years through his formation starting in the early 90s. He then moved to Washington, D.C. in the U.S. for specialization before spending some 17 years at Nkoroi Parish, Ngong Diocese in Kenya. He returned to Catalonia last December, finding himself back in his formative parish of Santa Joaquima.
I find it a little bit difficult to work here, but at the same time, I'm needed to step in and help in the church.
At the Sunday Mass we attended, there were 24 adults at the 12 o'clock session, accompanied by just 4 children from one family. The Mass lasted 40 minutes.
This is what you would see in most parts of this Catalonia. It's better in other parts of Spain.
In Kenya, the order of Mass is more elaborate, featuring choir interludes, physical offertory, and general participation by the congregation. However, in this particular church, the choir consists of only one individual who serves as both the soloist and the organist. Here, there is no offertory or sadaka as it's known in Kenya, but there is a reason behind it.
The church doesn't want to look like it's begging the people, and the offertory has to be more intentional, more from the heart. So they do it into the account, or they drop it in some places that they can deposit money as they go in or as they go out.
That has always been the situation in Spain?
No, that has changed with the drop of people going to church. One of the complaints that people had as they stopped going to church is that the church asks too much.
Father Muthoka's parish is also formation house and so has bills to pay. The congregation does not sustain the needs of the center.
For example, a religious community like we have jobs that pay us. And that's how somehow we run our community and we buy our food and our clothing and all that.
And so what led to the decline of this once thriving church that was once bustling with a vibrant community that required ample space to accommodate its needs?
When the church kind of forgets the common man, the poor man, the needy person, and kind of dines with the kings or goes very close to the politics and dines with the politicians, then the Christians suffer and they can end up giving up.
For over 30 years to mid-70s, Spain was under the rule of a dictator, General Francisco Franco. Catholicism was the state religion and all other religions were prohibited. The government controlled much of all social sectors, imposing rules on civil rights. With the passing of the dictator, a new era dawned, giving rise to the ideals of liberalism and secularism.
It's a society that kind of looks at each person as a small god. I'm a god. I can make decisions. I can live the way I want. I do not need to be dictated. And again, there is also a feeling of I do not want to be controlled. I do not want to be told how to worship my God.
Presently, 70% of Spain's population still identify as Catholic, with many continuing the tradition of baptizing their newborn children. However, the follow-up to confirmation often remains incomplete. Statistics reveal that only a third of them actively practice their faith. This shift marks a significant departure from the era when Spain dispatched missionaries to establish churches across Africa and South America.
It's not the same. It's no longer the same. The church here needs help. It's the other way around.
For now, Father Muthoka and his fellow Carmelites who reside at this parish continue with the work of formation, serving the needs of emerging groupings, including the new catechumens, who appear to prefer a different way of practicing their faith.
The only difference is that they celebrate their masses on Saturday evening.
Why Saturday evening?
I think with the teachings of the Sabbath, for them it's more of a Saturday evening than a Sunday morning.
It is a truth that set us all free. Okay? Because if there was truth in this whole thing, it wouldn't have collapsed. It wouldn't have just started fading away. People wouldn't have just started running away from it. People's spirit, people's consciousness and vibration wouldn't have started diverting to another thing if there was truth in it. Sincerity. Your Majesties. Now, to the church asking too much issue. It has been the thing of, because it's people that use it as a tool to control people. Religion is used as a tool to control people. So those who are using it as a tool would definitely use it to their advantage. 100%. Because if this thing is a tool that make me rich, why would I not use it to the utmost, what have you that I can? They would definitely use it. And that's why people complain. Oh, they ask too much. Isn't it the same thing here? There is no difference. You go to the church, you have to spend a lot of money. And sometimes it's like, let me just do this so that people don't look at me like I am the bad person. I am the one that don't want progress. Oh, let me just do this to truly help. These are the things that most of the times come to mind. Number 2, religion was beaten. Religion was beaten because when all this thing was going on, the clip was playing, I'm like, religion was beaten to people. When you study into about the, what do you call it? The Inquisition, Your Majesties, you will hate religion. You will hate Christianity. The evil that was done, how people were tortured to accept these things. If it's of the source of life, why must you force people into it? There is no free will in all these religions. You are always tied with something. So you live in fear. You worship in fear. You do all you do in fear. It's not because you want to do it, but because you have to escape hell. You have to do it so that you don't go to hell tomorrow. So they use this fear of hell to tie people. So you are not doing it because, let me do it out of free will. You are doing it because you don't want to go to hell. There's no free will in religion. Okay? So we're talking about this. It's not just Christianity. It's same with Islam and Judaism. There is no free will. And we are people that were created with free will. Okay? You only need your conscience to be alive so that whatever you do that, because there's always nemesis. Karma is real. Karma is real. So I felt like sharing this with you today. That in case tomorrow we begin to see the fall of these same churches in the motherland, we'll know that, of course, where it started, it is falling. So definitely, it's going to go. The way it came here, it will go. Okay? And gradually we are moving towards that time where spirituality will be what will prevail religion. Be true, be sincere, do the right thing. Like let it be from the heart. And that's why the world is not at peace. Because most of the things we do, we just do them because, okay, let's do this. What do you think? Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always your majesties. Bye for now.